Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, at Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 53 available now. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just saw Tom and Jerry. It is the new Warner Animation Group release based on the classic Hanna-Barbera. 90s kids would know it off of like Cartoon Network or Boomerang or something. It's Tom the cat, Jerry the mouse. They fight. And it's starring Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Rob Delaney, Colin Jost, Pallavi Sharda, I hope I said that right, Ken Jeong, Bobby Cannavale, Little Rel, Nicky Jam. They provide some voices. It is directed by Tim Story, who I think directed Taxi with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah, the two Jessica Alba Fantastic Four movies. I believe he directed both Think Like a Man movies, and most recently Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson and Jesse T. Usher last summer. 2 summers ago now. Yeah. Summer 2019. Chloe Grace Moretz is working at a hotel. There's a huge event in this hotel, but Jerry, needing somewhere to live, decides to live at this hotel. And Chloe Grace Moretz needs to impress her superiors, Michael Pena, Rob Delaney, and she needs to get rid of the mouse who's causing some issues. And the cat, Tom, is brought in to get rid of the mouse. I'm 35, so I know how this plays out. The youth out there who may not be hip to Tom and Jerry will have fun watching how this plays out. I was curious about Tom and Jerry, like, I believe maybe when I was 7. Like, my memory, I feel like relatives took me to like a double bill, like drive-in or something. Like this is white people shit. We were camping and then like went to see a movie, and it ended up being like the 93 Tom and Jerry and Jurassic Park. And I remember falling asleep during Jurassic Park. Blasphemy, I know. But rewatching the 93 Tom and Jerry a couple days ago, it does not hold up. It wasn't funny. It was a Disney movie with Tom and Jerry in it. There's and not even that this is a bad thing, but there's a song every 5 minutes. They're working together the entire movie. And that's not what Tom and Jerry is. I would have liked to had seen, I would have liked this to have been like a full like CG animated movie, like what they did with Scoob, like what Warner Animation did with Scoob. But this is traditional animation and live action. And I guess we'll see that again later this year with Space Jam: A New Legacy. But same studio. I saw so much negative feedback for this movie. Like, Letterboxd ratings I saw were no higher than 3 stars. And then like I thought I was going that way too, because like the opening credits are super lame. There's this like trendy, probably, I don't remember when it came out, 90s, early 2000s maybe, pop song, like R&B song, and there are characters like singing it. It was lame. It was cringe. And I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna end up like leaning toward the popular opinion that this is a letdown. I wasn't let down. Like, after the opening credits were over, and the super lame logo that just looked like a Looney Tunes logo, not the one that's on the poster I just put up. This was a fun movie. Like, it's dumb. It's for kids. Like, if today's generation of little kids can get into Tom and Jerry, this is a fun movie. They are fighting they're fighting up until the third act, and some dominoes fall that it would just benefit them to work together. I think Chloe Grace Moretz is fine. I like Michael Pena most of the time. He was over the top cartoony in this. And I kind of think they were like playing up like a stereotypical like Hispanic character with him. I was not a fan of his character in this movie. I mean, and like, I usually dislike every Ken Jeong in every movie I've seen him in since The Hangover Part 2. But he was okay in this. Palive Sharda, she was with Colin Jost in this movie. And I like she was a good character. Like, I enjoyed her and Chloe Grace Moretz back and forth the whole movie. But Colin Jost being married to Scarlett Johansson, I was just thinking, like, a lot of this movie, like, in this situation, like, it would have been cool if they could have got Scarlett in this. But I enjoyed what was presented. And the plot, correct me, like, if anybody that's seen this movie, correct me if I'm wrong, but the plot of Tom and Jerry is just a ripoff of Ratatouille. Please, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody gains access to something. Dominoes roll. Somebody gets done wrong according to like their intentions, and then their motivation is to get revenge. And that's what Ratatouille is. Expecting, maybe that's why I'm gonna give this a positive rating, because expecting to like loathe this on the level that I did Scoob. Scoob, like, I was excited for a lot of 2020 animation last year, and Scoob was like number one as far as my most anticipated anime. Maybe let's say 3, because I'm not gonna lie, like I anticipated Scoob more than the Pixar releases. So let's say Scoob was like my 3rd most anticipated animated movie last year. It was the most disappointing animated movie I saw last year. And I expected Tom and Jerry to be more of the same. Like, I don't know, like Warner Animation Group isn't doing Lego movies anymore. And now I realize it looks like I'm reviewing a Lego movie. It's like they're running out of ideas. Like they're trying to like put together. They're trying to sell all these like popular properties from 50 years ago that kids don't watch anymore. But I laughed throughout this movie. The animated violence was funny. There are references to other Warner Brother properties. I enjoyed this movie, man. And they kind of like left it open-ended for a sequel that I wouldn't hate. With all that being said, in my opinion, Tom and Jerry is almost dope. Have you seen Tom and Jerry? What you think about it, man? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. I like, not. I don't know if anybody's checking. I don't know if anybody cares. But until like the box office starts, until Hollywood starts churning out movies every weekend again, and we get steady like top 10 box office results, I'm gonna hold off on shout outs. So, cause like this is what, like the 4th or 5th 2021 new release that I've reviewed, and they've all been from Warner Brothers, and that's because this is available on HBO Max and in the theater. So next weekend, my goal is to review SpongeBob on Thursday. Next Friday, my plan, which might not happen, but the plan is to get on Hulu and watch and review Boss Level, Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, directed by Joe Carnahan, and then go to the theater and see Chaos Walking, Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, directed by Doug Liman. And then next Saturday, my goal is to go to the theater and watch Raya and the Last Dragon, the new Disney animated release, and come home and get on Amazon Prime and watch Coming to America. So next weekend is going to be busy, man. And then episode 54, Rec League Podcast, we are just going to show love to Eddie Murphy, discuss his career. So we'll talk about some highs, we'll talk about some lows, but it's just going to be a big Eddie Murphy discussion. That's the plan. I don't even necessarily want to talk about any news, but I'm sure we probably will. My most recent review is for Judas and the Black Messiah, another Warner release. Hope you got a chance to check that out, man. So like, subscribe, comments. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.